In addition to showing you how to create clothes for your sculpture, I'm going to show you how I do wings. So this is a little wing that I'm creating for my sculpture. It's a female figure. And here I just pinch it and create the shape of a wing, and then I begin to drag my finger through it to create lines that begin to feel like feathers to me. And so since my work is very loose and very rough, that works right there. It works really well for me. Of course, you can make any level of detail that you would like to make. So here I am. I'm going to pull the sculpture over to me, and I'm going to take the end of that wing, the end that will attach to the body, and I will be dipping it in water so that it will stick to the clay. So notice that there's no real good understanding of where wings would go. I've never been able to see a person with wings. I don't know anatomically where that really fits, and so I stuck that on there, but it just seems high to me, so I moved it down. And I will be now adjusting the wing and making it so that it's a shape that I like. It has a texture I like. And I did not put any wire in this, but you certainly could. You could, upon building the piece at the very beginning, it wouldn't be bad at all to put wire in it. Now I think what happened is it wasn't sticking as well, and I had kind of stretched it out a little bit, so I'm making that a little more compact. I'm adjusting the feathers, and I'm dipping it back into water and sticking it on so that it's really stuck on there nice. And now I'm sealing that attachment and adjusting the wings a little bit, the wing a little bit. There, I think I like that better. A little more delicate. Certainly the smaller the wing is, the less need you have for an armature underneath. If the wing is long, you definitely do need an armature or a piece of wire in there to hold it on. Now would not be a good time to add wire unless I want to take a drill and drill into my dry sculpture, which certainly works. You can do that. Take a drill and drill in, and then stick your wire in there and then cover it with clay. Attach it real well. That works too. So here's the second wing. I dip that in water always before I apply wet clay to dry clay. And usually it's not slip. It's pretty fresh water. If it's too slippy, the water doesn't absorb as well or stick as well. If the water is too thick and filled with clay. So there are the wings. There she is. Okay, now I'm going to show you some thoughts about how to create clothes. So obviously this piece is not finished, and I would generally finish a piece completely before adding clothes to it. So here I do need to add like sleeves, because her hand will be up and her sleeves would be falling. So that's what I'm working on. There we go. And so just try to get that angle in there. Oftentimes, the best way of doing clothes is to get the whole piece sculpted completely, and then just to add on the parts of the clothes that would be hanging, and then to add wrinkles in the other areas. So you don't really need to or want to get clay that you lay over the top of the sculpture, because in doing that, you're really obscuring your piece. Right there, I'm looking at the wrinkles in my arms, in my sleeves, to see how I would create wrinkles. And I use myself as a model often when I'm doing clothes, which at this point isn't very often. If you think about the thickness of your own clothes and then rolling out clay even that thin to put on a sculpture that's 1/4 the size of a person, obviously there's a problem with the thickness. And so That's why oftentimes sculptors just add wrinkles. They don't actually add any clay on addition to the figure of the body. If you just add wrinkles and then any clay where the fabric would be falling away from the body, that's really the best way to add clothes. It looks like here I'm going to add a skirt to the figure. So I need to put wet clay in between her legs, and then I just kind of push it out. But I don't want to just add a big slab of clay all around her whole body. Now when doing clothes, it's great to have some kind of reference photo so that you can see where the wrinkles are. And right now I'm just doing this without. Or to use yourself as a model, and I don't have a skirt on, so it's hard to see. But you see how I didn't add clay to the top of her legs. I just attached the clay in between. Here I am flattening some more clay. Now it wasn't thick enough. It looked like there was too big of a gap, so I'm adding a little bit more. But once again, it's not just like a piece on top of her body. It's just in the areas that the skirt would be adding volume. So that's the front. So I'm trying to smooth that now. The other thing I would do is go back and yeah, see how that's attached? Add wrinkles to wherever the wrinkles on the skirt would be. Oh, here I am trimming the bottom of it. Earlier it looks like I did work on the area around her neck. I had some problems with the camera shutting off unexpectedly, and so maybe I'm going to do that now. Oh, I'm going to do that around her arm. So here I'm demonstrating how I did it around her neck, and the trick is just to make a very small coil. And if you make a very small coil and you wrap it, dip it in water and wrap it around the neck where you want the collar to be, then you just take the top of the coil or the bottom of the coil closest to the body and blend that into the clay, and then the part near the neck looks like a collar. And it works that way for sleeves or pants cuffs. Also very, very well.
I'm just cleaning this up and I'm done.